Tonight on The Edge, an alert for people who are expecting an iPhone delivery across the country. Thieves are actually tracking the packages and stealing them off porches right after they're dropped off.
Metro Detroit is no exception, and Troy PD actually tracked down one of those suspects. Let's get live to Fox News' Jessica Dupnack. She has more on these arrests and what you need to know if you're expecting a pricey package. Jess.
The suspect that is under arrest and in police custody tonight was actually posing as an Amazon driver. He had the hat, the vest, all of it. Now, after he was arrested, the calls of stolen iPhones continued to come into police departments all over Oakland County, which is leading police to believe this is part of a much bigger ring.
He looked exactly like anyone you would see walking up to your front porch delivering an Amazon package.
Ironically, you can buy that fake vest on Amazon. Instead of delivering, he was allegedly stealing iPhones.
A lot is what we're thinking.
Troy police say hard to pin down just how many were taken. It's been going on for weeks all over Oakland County.
He would somehow get tipped off as to where these phones are being delivered. Then he would show up shortly after the delivery was made.
He'd swap an empty package for the filled one, driving off in a Dodge Caravan with a paper plate. Sometimes in policing, it's better to be lucky than good. That's what happened to some undercover officers last week during a separate investigation in Troy.
The suspect vehicle pulled out right in front of them, so they kind of transitioned into working that vehicle, followed him around for a little bit, and then once everyone was in the area, they initiated a traffic stop on him.
23-year-old Yohan Polanco Mello arrested in the U.S. illegally, now facing deportation and held on a $50,000 cash bond on larceny charges. But the weird part, after Polanco Mello's arrest, a cascade of phone calls continued, reports of more stolen iPhones. Videos like this circulating on social suggest a more organized ring operating right now.
It was delivered at like 4:15, and then at 4:30 we weren't home. We got a ring notification that a car stopped here, and then it drove by, and then he ran up and took the package real quick, and then he was gone.
The thief in Courtney Coe's case in Berkeley doesn't look like Polanco Mello, but could be connected. When she called AT&T to report it,
they didn't seem surprised. They were like, okay, just, we'll get you a new one.
There's a bigger fish here, someone on the inside with either Amazon or one of the phone carriers.
Still trying to piece together how exactly they're finding out where these packages are being delivered.
As investigators try to crack this case, be warned. I've also heard of some Apple Watches getting stolen off porches. So if you are expecting an iPhone or one of those Apple Watches, see if the carrier can make you sign for it. Not all of them will. Courtney, who you heard from in this story, her carrier is AT&T. They wouldn't allow it. So what she did is she had her neighbors watch out because it's such a short window that these guys are pouncing on the porches. We're talking 5-10 minutes. Reporting live, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Now, the very thing these imposters are kind of using to get away with this is one thing that could help them get caught. They're using their vests, but many of these people have their own personal vehicles. It's not a big blue Amazon van, and that makes it very identifiable on those ring cams.
Sure, absolutely, Rube. And there are some actual legitimate Amazon drivers that do use their own vehicles. Right. And we've become so accustomed to packages all the time in and out of our driveways and stuff like that. We don't keep an eye out. But definitely if you're in Oakland County for sure right now, this sounds like it's part of a bigger ring. So please keep an eye out.
I'm going to keep those cameras kicking as well. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you. Well, chilling allegations against a local youth pastor has a Washtenaw County community with many unanswered questions.
The man is facing several charges in connection to the sexual abuse of children. 29-year-old Zachary Radcliffe was a youth pastor and music director at Oakwood Church. He's also the son of Frank Radcliffe, the senior pastor. Police received a tip earlier this month that Radcliffe had allegedly solicited sexually abusive material from a minor. Authorities say there are multiple victims ranging in age from 12 to 17, dating back to early 2011.
I'm never entirely surprised when something like this happens because clergy have continually broken people's trust.
Zachary's bond was set at $3 million.
Well, just 2 weeks until Election Day, and both the Trump and Harris campaigns continue to really barnstorm Michigan.
Tonight, former President Barack Obama stirred up some enthusiasm in Detroit, calling on Michiganders to cast their ballot for Vice President Kamala Harris. And Fox News' Dave Kinchin with more on that rambunctious rally.
A huge opening for one many call the closer. Former President Barack Obama walking out to a crowd of about 13,000 Kamala Harris supporters at Huntington Place downtown after a big intro from Detroit's own Eminem.
I have done a lot of rallies, so I don't usually get nervous. But I was feeling some kind of way following Eminem. Now I notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
POTUS number 44 went right into the surrogate mode of attack dog, going after the man who replaced him in 2017, former President Donald Trump, taking aim through a host of issues.
Have you seen Mr. Trump lately? He's out there he'll give like 2.5-hour speeches. Just a word salad. You don't know what the heck he's saying. Now understand, wages are steadily growing. Inflation is slowing. But the price of everything from health care to housing to groceries is still too high. And that hurts. The question is, who's actually going to do something about it? All right, y'all already know the answer, but let me give it to you anyway.
The biggest message Obama had for all: make sure your voice counts on Election Day.
So whether this election is making you feel excited or scared or hopeful or frustrated or anything in between, do not sit back and hope for the best. I know I'm the hope guy, but don't just hope. Get off your couch and vote.
And the magic number here is 15 electoral votes. The Harris campaign's going after them. The Trump campaign's going after those same votes. And those candidates will be back in Detroit, the metro area, and the state of Michigan so many more times we understand before this election takes place in less than 2 weeks. And the best team in town, Fox 2 News, has you covered all day, all night, and online. We're downtown. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
She is somebody who, even if you disagree with her, and maybe especially if you disagree with her, I can tell you she will listen.
Republican Liz Cheney also in Metro Detroit today, campaigning on behalf of Kamala Harris. The daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney spoke at the Detroit Economic Club. It comes one day after Liz Cheney appeared with Vice President Harris in Royal Oak, part of an effort to drum up Republican support for Donald Trump's opponent.
Both presidential campaigns keep zeroing in on Michigan. On the Republican side, Senator J.D. Vance is stopping in Waterford on Thursday. He'll be speaking around 6 at the Elite Jet Center at Contact, which is a flight school. And we've learned today his running mate, Donald Trump, won't be too far behind. The former president will be rallying in Traverse City on Friday, followed by a trip to Novi on Saturday. Mr. Trump is set to speak around noon at the Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi.
All right, we hope you enjoyed today's weather because it could be months until we see another day like today.
Or maybe next week.
Maybe.
We heard that we might start to see some nicer weather, right, Rich?
Yes, we are going to get some cooler weather, but then next week, before Halloween, it's going to warm up again. You're going to see it all in the 7-day forecast. It is a changing pattern now. We've had this great stretch from back around the weekend through yesterday. Today we topped out at 76 degrees. Notice how there are some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder crossing eastern Michigan right now. Certainly no severe weather, but it's been a while since we've had some rain, and finally some rain chances for the next 4 or 5 hours. You can see quickly approaching Ann Arbor through the Irish Hills of Lenawee County. Up there close to Fenton and Hawley, some showers. How about some live pictures from Chicago O'Hare? Looks pretty nice out there tonight. 68 degrees. pretty warm around the Windy City. Here are our daytime highs today. 76 for us, 74 Grand Rapids, even the tip of the thumb, Mount Pleasant, both at 76 this afternoon. Record today was 81, so close, but not quite there. Averages are slipping as we get close to the end of October. Right now, still 70 degrees at City Airport. Pretty amazing. 64 Jackson, 68 up there in Flint. The breeze is from the south. That's a mild flow, and that'll continue for the rest of tonight. There's the cold air up here around Thunder Bay, Ontario, Fargo, North Dakota at 45. Watch what happens to our next cold front. It comes through our area tomorrow afternoon. Mainly dry, but there's quite a bit of wind energy with it. So tomorrow will be a blustery day. Then Thursday's a cooler day. Here comes our best chance for some more rain. That's down the road on Friday. For the rest of tonight, spotty showers, perhaps a rumble in spots, down to 56. Tomorrow, not as warm, breezy at times with a high of 68. And then right there's the 7-day. It will cool off for the weekend. But look at that. Next Tuesday, back to 72 degrees. Rupen Taryn, any complaints?
Nope, not at all.
Here.
Thanks, Rich. Well, developers on Detroit's east side are trying to turn a blighted building into a beacon of hope.
Why did I feel scared to say anything but no?
No,
just
we were
now,
good. We
right?
were good.
The old Fisher Auto plant on Hastings is in dire need of a makeover. The factory right off I-75 has been sitting empty for 30 years. Now, developers are getting a boost after $19 million in state funding was approved. The project has a long way to go, but the plan is to transform the former factory into housing with more than 400 new lofts, a grocery store, and retail on site.
I'm a native Detroiter. I'm 57 years old.
Yeah.
So I've seen Detroit up and down. And, you know, to come back from bankruptcy the way we did, nobody would have never dreamed this would happen.
Are you excited for the future when you look out here?
Oh, man. The future's bright in Detroit.
The project's price tag is roughly $150 million. We could still be a couple years away until it's finally finished up.
The changes that you're seeing, they're not just about the logo or the new colors. It's really about everything that's from within. To hear the feedback that we're getting already, it warms all of our hearts, I think, because that was really it. How do we connect all of our visitors with nature and with each other?
The Detroit Zoo letting the cat out of the bag, I should say, on a new project they're working on. Visitors will be able to get up close and personal with animals like goats and stingrays by the year 2026. As part of a new interactive exhibit called Discovery Trails, the $20 million project stretches 7 acres from Buddy's Pizza to the bison and wolverine habitats. The Detroit Zoo expects to boost visitations and memberships by 10%.